school that I was at was brutal, dude. Brutal. Absolutely. It's one of the worst schools in England, right? It was a failing school. As
in the hood or something?
yeah, it was in the hood, right? And just to give you context of how bad it was, kids weren't even passing. They weren't equipped for life. So it was considered by the UK government a failing school, right? So there wasn't enough kids actually getting grades. Or kids were like selling weed and shit, dude. Like, it was a mess. And the kind of like, I remember, you know, we call them in England chavs, right? They're like hood kids, lower class, right? There's no progression. There's no like, put it this way, right? The way that all these people are speaking and acting, it's in England, it's considered like very lower class, and they haven't got we call it social capital. Right. Social capital being the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. They know this guy's put
social awareness.
Yeah, all that. It's not there.
They're from a different socioeconomic background.
Exactly.
So the upbringing I get what you're saying.
It ain't preparing you for success in life. So this is a brutal environment, dude. This is like daily fights. This is like gangs. This is terrible. So what happens is my anxiety comes back. It was not there in my previous school because I got a friend. I'm starting to do well in school. It comes back again. When it comes back, dude, this is, again, like this is the core premise of CMU. When it came back and I doubted myself again, it was like jackals. It was like animals trying to find a weak to prey on, right? It was like that. Because I was fearful and I was...
Felt as if you were being hunted?
And I was like that, yeah. Because I was like fearful and I was depending on my friend who, for whatever reason, he just didn't have the same level of anxiety because he had a far better upbringing than me. So with him, I was kind of like, okay, I was navigating places, but the level of fear and being quiet and being like just socially shut off, and I had shitty social skills, all that, right? I couldn't express myself. I was a shut down human being because of fear, because of the emotion of fear and anxiety. And then what starts to hurt is like, some of the guys like me. I didn't really have problems like that. But like the girls, like, it hurt me when a lot of them just took pleasure in like letting me know that I'm ugly, that like I'm undesirable, that no girl wants to be. Honestly, dude, I think it's just a toxic culture where like.
Were they also like of a different race?
Yes, racism too, of course. Yeah. So look, you know, I'm brown. I'm coming up in like a mostly all white school, right? There's maybe one or two black kids, maybe, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like that's the kind of context I was in, and it wasn't an enlightened time. It was like, it was tough, right? And the level of like we weren't socially accepted. We were just like invisible people walking around, and you know, there's some brown girls, but they're like super kind of like conservative, mean, right? Just not nice.
What are some of the things that they would do to you, per se?
Or, like I remember just in different contexts, like just waiting around for a class and they're saying, "You're ugly. You're never gonna find a girl." Like shit like that, right? Or like
you were like 13 at the time.
Yeah.
That'll definitely cause like a lifetime effect.
It did. Yeah, unfortunately. And other times are like I'm just kind of like sitting there, maybe in line or something, and like, you know, maybe accidentally brush into them and turn around and go, you shouldn't touch me. You know, and it went on. The shit I would see from like women in school was like just so bad, dude. And as I got older, it just got like, by the time I was 16, 17, it was more racially charged, right? So it was like girls actually saying, I'd never date an Indian guy. I'd never date a brown guy, like stuff like that, right? And you're hearing it, you're like, what the fuck?
It's still going on till now.
Yeah, it is still, yeah. And you know, just sitting on the bus and just hearing girls talk about like, I got so many guys asking me for my number, but there's one, I don't think I can do it. Oh no. And her friend was kind of asking her, why is that? And she's like, he's Indian. And they're like, like this type, you're in this context. You're in this context where you're like a minority. People are literally, you're literally hearing on a weekly basis how you're disgusting, how like no one wants you there.
Day in and day out. So
yes.
They're going to brainwash you too.
Of course. So that is happening a lot in school, and like it makes me like just lose faith in like womankind, because I'm coming up in a like culture. The problematic thing that probably fucked my mind up so much was my parents really valued like marriage and traditional values. Like my mum really pressured me to get married. She really, from the time I was like 13, she was like, don't get a girlfriend. You cannot get a girlfriend. You're going to get married. We're going to find you a girl. You're going to get married. And that was the kind of context, right? And like, she's telling me all this shit that, you know, we're going to find you a girl and all this shit. But I'm thinking to myself, like, these women out here are treating me like shit. I don't think I want this. Like, I don't think I want... I began to get, like... It was really, like... I couldn't express to, like, Mum, I don't know if I even want to do this, because I'm, like...
Feeling of, like, hopelessness.
Yes. So, like, you know, all that's going on, and I've really got no one to confide in.